Let me share this. Ben gave this card to Raina already. So Barbara Harris is watching right now.
I spoke to her a little bit earlier.
Watching right now. And Kevin Eschberger, Hebhager, excuse me. Well, hello, everybody. This is Scott Roberts from Explore Scientific and the Explorer Alliance. And with me today is Terry Mann from the Astronomical League. We had meant to get together earlier, and apparently somehow I blew being getting my time schedule right. So, but anyways, we wanted to talk about the Astronomical League live program, which is coming up next Monday. and the 75th anniversary of the Astronomical League. So Terry, thank you for hanging in there with me and
No problem.
accepting all of my apologies.
No problem.
But yeah, so when you think of the long legacy, I mean, 75 years of the Astronomical League, that's amazing. I know that there are older astronomy organizations out there, but this certainly is a milestone. So, what's the feeling like with the executive directors and the board and the club presidents? I mean, is it a time of celebration?
It definitely is for us. We've been planning this. We've spoken about this at least for a year now
Hmm.
and started putting everything together. Uh, yeah, we've communicated, been partners, been friends with so many organizations. We've gotten to know so many more people everywhere. And with being virtual for Alcon Virtual this year, that was something new for the league too. And we reached out even further. So I think everybody is very excited. Just the fact with everything that's happened, especially how strong right now the league is, how many members we've gained. I mean, we're celebrating a lot of things. Survival. I mean, just survival of the
Right.
last year or so. So yeah, very upbeat. A lot of good things coming up in the league. Carol will be speaking about the future of the league during virtual or Alcon Live 75. So yeah, we've got a lot going on.
Well, it's been, I mean, from my side, it's just been a huge honor to work with the league and to actually and to be here during a time where there's such strong growth in amateur astronomy. We're seeing more people get involved in amateur astronomy than we have in a long, long time. In fact, for probably more than a decade. So it's the interest in the surge in astronomy is huge. I attribute part of that to the pandemic because of people being locked down and wondering what it is that they could do. And I think that a lot of people might have gone into their backyards and looked up at the stars and go, wow, this is pretty cool. But to see people commit further by joining an astronomy club, and subscribing to a magazine and to getting their first telescope, these are all huge steps for people to start to explore the skies and all the rest of that. And I think and being that now it's the 75th anniversary, it couldn't have come in at a better time, really. So, how much? Maybe you can characterize this over the last from 2020 to now. Do you know how many more members the club or the league has gained?
I think it's somewhere, I believe, don't quote me, but I believe between 1,500 and 2,000.
Oh,
It
okay.
has grown amazingly huge. So many people, as you said. I think they took up camping too. I
Right.
was in a
Get
campground.
outside, right?
Oh my gosh. And you set up a telescope at a campground and it does draw people. I was amazed. I thought I was kind of hid because I was trying to do some imaging. And once I was found, people were just, curious and want to know what's up there in the sky. So it is a great feeling because we have so many new people and maybe so many more that maybe aren't new people, but their interest was re-energized because they needed to stay home and they felt safer doing that or being out alone. So, and I look like my region's a Great Lakes region, and I believe this region alone grew by 325 members, and that was not from new clubs. That was from people joining these clubs in the area. So I can't say there was no new clubs that joined because I'm sure that there were, but
Sure.
in this region, it was from more members being interested in astronomy and joining their local club.
Right.
So
Right. And
those
I
clubs,
I believe that the clubs who did outreach during the
yes.
pandemic, when they got online and they did some of this virtual stuff, I think that really did help a lot. I have heard some, organizations where they didn't know what to do. and didn't have star parties, didn't use technology to kind of get out there, that they did suffer. So,
Yeah.
but with free, things like Zoom or Skype or Facebook Live or whatever, YouTube Live. These are all tools that clubs could embrace, and I know it's so amazing to watch the Astronomical League just really embrace that, and to host their Astronomical League live events. I believe the Astronomical League live events were your idea, Terry. Is that right?
Yeah, because I also knew clubs that basically weren't doing anything.
Right.
And I really felt as a service to our membership, we needed to do something. I
Mm.
mean, we were fortunate enough to have you already there that knew, had all this knowledge, and you were willing to help us get started and to do this and to broadcast.
Of
And having that, it just made sense to me to go ahead and have a monthly meeting that anybody, I mean, these are free, anybody around the world can tune in and watch these.
And they
And
do.
yeah, and
They
yeah, and
do.
it's nice. I mean, we have really reached out internationally and we're working more on that. But it is amazing because it doesn't matter where in the world these people are, and they
Mhm.
might be right here in the US or right across the hall. It is so great to have that kind of extended family. We all enjoy the same thing and we can all share the same thing and we learn from each other. You never know everything. You can always learn from anyone, and it has really been an amazing experience. But the key, as you said, was to find a way to stay active. And for the league, we had canceled Alcon the first year, and we did not like doing that. I mean,
Sure.
we are all used to being around, seeing everybody, and we didn't want to cancel the second year. And so and before that, we had started virtually with you on the global star parties and then AL Live. And we have had just tremendous success, and we appreciate your help because
Well,
you are a
you
key
know,
part of that.
yeah, thank you, Terry. But it's an honor for us to do it. It's a personally me, it's a big honor. So because I see the league as this very venerable institution, and that has helped so many amateur astronomers, and have taken recognize people for lifelong endeavors in astronomy. Have done all manner of support. And have attracted some really amazing and legendary people to come forth to sponsor awards and that kind of thing. So I see the league as this really important, strong, vibrant organization, and it's mostly done with volunteers. Is that right?
Yes, most of our people are definitely volunteers. We have a few that are paid, but definitely all of us are pretty much volunteers. And many of us have been involved for years in this, and just really love, doing this and talking to people, and just being under the stars.
Sure.
Nothing beats being under a good dark night, clear
Right.
skies, dark star or bright stars. Can't beat it.
Well,
But yeah,
being that
you're right though. We are looking at another way to get more youth interested, and I'm sure that will come up. There'll be so many things on AL Live for the 75th anniversary that you'll hear about for the first time, I think. And like I said, we've got a lot of stuff going on in the background right now that we're working on. And so many of our friends from different organizations are going to be on there just talking a little bit, about what's going on and happy birthday and,
Sure.
just kind of catching up a little bit because it has been a while. We catch up online anymore. We're looking forward to the time we can see each other face to face and actually go out to dinner and talk and, have just
It's
enjoy
all
everything
coming.
again.
It's all coming. That's
It
right.
is. It definitely is.
But the league started way before you
Thank you
were
very
even
much.
thought of, Terry. But I wanted to know how much you might know about its history. I mean, it's so many decades ago to reach back to. But do you have an idea of what the league was like 75 years ago? It must have been just a small group of people kind of starting it up. How did it start?
Yeah, I'm going to let the history part of the program go into that because I would probably tell you wrong. But what I do know and the things
Mhm.
I have seen, it was amazing back in the very beginning in the 40s and 50s when you would look at the group pictures at the Alcons, and it was
Yeah.
called Alcon back there. Oh, the men in the suits, the women in the dresses and heels.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Kind of formal, wasn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
very formal, very formal.
Hmm.
And our history does go way back. And again, that will be a small part of our 75th anniversary. Just talking a little bit about history. The one thing that did amaze me, and if I say this wrong, everybody forgive me, but I think it was Helen Federer. She is grinding a mirror in heels and a dress.
And heels.
Amazing picture. I mean, I looked at that and said, "Oh my gosh!" I ground a 6-inch little mirror, and I mean, I'm covered and I'm in jeans and my tennis shoes,
Yeah.
and she is in heels and a dress. I mean, it was
Because that's kind of a dirty job,
it
grinding
is
a mirror,
kind of,
right?
yeah,
So,
especially when you don't know what you're doing. But yeah, it was just a whole different era. But
sure.
an amazing time. I think every step of the 75 years has had their own, piece of history, their own
Yeah.
amazing adventures going on. For us, this will be COVID. This is something for our 10 years here or whatever, it's going to be COVID will be down in history for a long time. And the
Well,
league can't grow down as being an organization that was fortunate enough to grow and to move forward during that time.
right.
So, and that's what we plan to keep doing. Keep
I,
finding exciting things, new
right.
things. We have great people. All our membership has so much knowledge and ideas, so many ideas that they share, that when we have our meetings, it is amazing to hear some of the ideas that do come up.
I can imagine. I can
Yeah.
imagine. There's George Trulius from the Kition Planetarium and Observatory in Cyprus is watching, and he said he wanted to express. He says, I would like to express our thanks to the Astronomical League for publishing our asteroid discovery in their 75th anniversary calendar." So that's very cool.
It is. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Mm.
Definitely. Yeah, it's amazing. And there's so much going on. And I think because it's the league's 75th birthday, maybe we kind of had just a little bit of hand in Comet Leonard coming up. Maybe it'll be just bright enough this Christmas for all of us to see. But yeah, the league tries, we all try to keep up on everything that's going on and get it out, in the world however we can, whatever way is best to
Yeah.
do it. But that's part of the excitement of astronomy, just like their discovery. I mean, it's amazing what people are doing. And people need to know that. There are people that are just like you and me that's doing things that's just incredible that have taken this last year and learned how to do astrophotography or whatever they're interested in. It gave us
Right.
that time to stop. Well, we didn't have that. We had to stop. And it gave us time to learn and do things maybe we really wanted to do and could catch up
Yeah.
with the
Kind of
family and getting
reflect
out.
on what's important, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Personally in your life. So that's very
yeah,
true. That's very true.
yeah.
I think that a
And
lot of people are grateful for that time. Uh, I had read about was it Isaac Newton during the I guess it was during the Black Plague, had self isolated to avoid that, and so he went way out into I guess, some countryside residence, and that's where he formulated most of his amazing theories. So, yeah, so it's a pretty interesting story. So there's always some positive, positive situations in a bad, in
right.
a bad
Yeah.
scenario. So, but we were all very fortunate to have the technology that we have at this time, and but also fortunate that we have organizations that their whole posture is to reach out and to educate people, particularly about astronomy. A lot of us see astronomy as this kind of gateway science that almost anybody can do, and once you swing that door open, and your first observation may be something as simple, but also as profound as seeing Saturn's rings for the first time, and seeing the craters on the moon for the first time, and finding yourself just like, you can feel it within yourself when you're kind of propelled into this exploration, and having something as at once simple, but at the same time as complex as astronomy can be, presented to you, where it's, where you can involve yourself with a community like the Astronomical League, who's going to be there to support you, to educate you with all their observing programs, to recognize you for achievements that you make, whether you're getting certificates for completing those observing programs, or you're getting special awards for something extra that you might have done. So the league's always been there for that. I imagine they'll be there for the next 75 years. So I'd like to be there for the 150th anniversary of the Astronomical League. Maybe
That sounds like I'd love to be there.
Miracle of modern science, I'll make it. I don't know. So, but yeah. So it's great to have you on. So let's talk in particular about Monday's event. It's going to start at 7
p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Right.
And we'll be on either the League's Facebook page or Explore Alliance on Explore Scientific. We'll be on that
You'll
page.
be on Explore Scientific's channels as well.
Yeah.
You'll be on the homepage of cloudynights.com. Okay.
Right.
Which is nice.
Yes.
And you're expecting to have who are your special speakers that are?
Oh, we're going to have quite a gallery. I look for all of the officers of the League to be there.
Okay.
And chime in. We're all just going to talk about everything. We'll start off naturally with you and David. We couldn't do a program without David Levy. David will be there. Carol will be there talking about updates for, the future of the League, the new stuff, things we're working on. We'll also have the door prizes. I'll be asking 3 questions. And the door prize this time will be a winter knit hat, like a stocking cap. There'll be a slideshow that John Gost will be doing for the League's history. And our organizations that will be joining us will be our Association of Lunar and Planetary Observers,
Awesome.
Richard Snooty from Alpo.
Yeah.
We have Stella
Kafka.
Thank you very much. From AAVSO. We'll have Kareem Jaffer from the RASC Montreal Center.
Awesome.
We'll have IDA here. We can't do anything without IDA. That's important for all of us to save the darkness for whatever cause you want.
Who's coming on from IDA?
That will be Ruskin Hartley.
Okay, Ruskin.
Yep. We're going to have you say a few words too, because you've been there the whole way. You have been there you've been there probably even a little bit longer than I have involved in the League. So,
is that true?
Yeah, I think, probably a little bit longer. Yeah, I don't know what year, but I remember, I think one of the very first, the Frederick conference, I think was the first time I needed to buy a flip mirror, and I bought it from you.
Okay.
Yeah. Sky and Telescope magazine will be joining us because part of our history is also part of their history. So
sure.
We're not sure which person it will be just yet, but we have A and B. So we'll see who's going to be here, but Sky and Tel will be here. And then our keynote speaker, Alan Dyer. This is great. Alan Dyer spoke at our Alcon virtual, and he will be speaking about the eclipse coming up on November 18th, 19th, and he'll be talking about the eclipse in general, and then talking about how to image the eclipse. And then, he'll be there for questions after that, and then we will wrap up. But we have quite a few organizations that it's kind of nice just to catch up with. Yeah, I've spoken to just about everybody here at one time or another, but but to put them all together on the program. And I think like last month, we had the Halloween party when we have a variety of speakers. Yeah.
That
And
was
I
fun.
think, yeah, I really, everybody seemed to enjoy that. And I kind of like the idea of having a big gallery of people, because this brings so many organizations together.
Oh, yeah. Well,
that,
it's hard to tell the story of the Astronomical League without trying to show
yeah,
at least some part of most of the facets of the organization. It's
that's
really
true.
tough to do in a 1 hour long
Yeah,
presentation. So, but
yeah,
I'm glad that you guys do that. You know, with the 300 plus clubs that are out
yes,
there that are part of the league. You know, I'm sure that they like to tune in and watch the program and see what's going on. Um, and you know, I do look forward also to being there in person at the next Alcon in Albuquerque.
yes. We are still planning Albuquerque in person. I don't think the final decision will be made till January or February, and I might be wrong there. It
Mhm.
will depend on everything, but at this point, we are planning on being there in person. So the final decision has not been made, but I plan on being in Albuquerque
Awesome. Yeah,
when
I'm
we
sure
can
you'll be
see.
there no matter what.
Yeah, I was last year. Yes.
Right. That's
So
right.
yeah, but it'll be great. I mean, just to get people together again. Hopefully, everything will be safe enough that we can do that, because that will always be our number one concern is the membership. And if
Sure.
we can safely do this and safely meet, and that will be something that will be considered to great extent when that decision is finally made.
Yeah.
But at this point, I'm very hopeful.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
I know that there's some other programs, events that are happening, like the Northeast Astronomy Forum. Um, you know, I don't know if the league is attending that or not, but I think that's still up in the air with a lot of different organizations to kind of check that out. We have committed ourselves. We've committed to go, and
yeah,
provided that the pandemic doesn't take a turn for the worse. You know, I think that it's time, to get
yeah,
back out there.
yeah.
Um, and
And
that
if
that
they
is
have,
also our commitment for the league, the Alcon event as well. So
and we appreciate that because we'll be doing something else new. It'll be a hybrid type of thing. We'll be there in person, and yet we'll be some of it. We don't know how we're going to do it yet. We'll have to work with
I,
you and figure all the logistics out.
yeah,
But
Terry and I have been partners in crime in trying to figure out how to get the word out about the excitement of Alcon out to as many people as possible. We recognize that there are people that maybe could never attend an Alcon event for whatever your situation might be. But that nevertheless, we know that your interest in astronomy and your interest in what the league can offer you is very important. So that would be the reason for us to kind of doing this kind of hybrid thing. So
yeah, yeah. And with the new technology, that will never go away, and it should not go away. We've all learned the new way to communicate.
I imagine it just gets better
It
as we go
seems to.
along. So
It seems
right.
like we just reach further and further out. And, I think that will continue to grow as long as we can continue to use the technologies we have. And I really think that is important because, as you said, there are people that cannot go to meetings. And it makes it easier for them for whatever reason. And then, there's people that we will all be there in person too. But it's really nice to have everybody included that you can have included. Again, so much knowledge, so much more knowledge that we can
Mm,
share with
mm,
everybody. So it's just a great thing.
very cool.
Very.
Well, Terry, I guess we'll kind of conclude here. Is there anything that you wanted to pass on before we stop this live stream?
Yeah, I think so, Scott. I know it's very important that you have been such a big part. We couldn't have done what we've done without your help. And that I know, don't get all humble here. It makes a big deal because once we reached out, we had somebody we could talk to that understood how to do this type of thing. And there is a learning curve, with this. I mean,
That's
Zoom,
true.
yes,
That's
look
true.
at
Like
what
all
you
my
do.
audience knows how many mistakes I made, as far as
How many we've
broadcasting goes.
all,
So,
I remember the first time you asked me to be on, and I went, oh my gosh, you want me to do what? You have to get over the shock of knowing you are going to mess up. You are
oh
going
yeah,
to
right.
mispronounce
Yeah, just
names.
let it
You're
go.
going to mess up.
That's
We're
true.
human, and that's what you told me. Hey, this is the
That's
way it
true.
goes. You're out there and you're trying to do it. So, that's what counts. So thank you. I'd like to thank all the people that have helped support everything that the league has done. And there are many, many people out there that are really unsung heroes. And believe me,
Absolutely, and really deserve
yes,
recognition. So,
yes,
and I know it's somewhat of a tough process, especially with like a recognition award. They have to go through processes of being nominated, and there's a lot of people who admire people or organizations and depend upon them, but at times they kind of forget, oh yeah, I'd like to nominate him, but I didn't, for whatever reason. I got too busy or whatever. But I do recommend that you go to the Astronomical League's website. And I know that it's being worked on, but
yeah.
it still has good information on it. And you can find out about the awards themselves and then figure out how to nominate them to the league. And so that's very important.
Yes, and please do that. And hopefully we will have the beginnings of the stage one of our new website online by the end of the year or the beginning of next.
Mhm.
Our award deadlines are not until March 31st, I do believe.
Just some
And
time.
please look at all this. There's a lot of fantastic youth awards that are there and adult awards too. There's so many things there that you can do and possibly nominate other people for. Please get out and do that. There are a lot of people that
Yeah,
are out there that really deserve to be nominated for so many
absolutely.
things,
Absolutely.
especially after the year or so we have had. So
Yeah,
many people. So please look at it, and we'd love to hear from you.
great. That's a nice ending there. Okay, so we will conclude, and we have our next program coming up here at 4 p.m. Central is Focus on Astrophotography with Tyler Bowman. And so we'll see you very soon.
Thank you, Scott.
Thanks. Thanks.